Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2016 mid-month readings. I am still using the Gilded Tarot deck. I was going to use the new deck I've been working with for the last couple of weeks, but because of the energies I keep getting from it, I'm going to be using it exclusively for my personal, business, and career readings, which I may do some general finance readings later on this summer as well. So for the time being, it's my beloved Gilded. So thank you for those of you who are continuing to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Your feedback and support and love, and particularly your comments, are so very welcome, and I'm grateful always to read them, both the ones that you put on my channel and the ones you send directly to email. I rarely have the time to respond to each and every one, but I do read them, so thank you very much for those. And as always, thank you for those of you who continue to reach out for one-on-one readings. It is always an honor and always a pleasure. And I know I say that every time, but it really is. I can't think of words to describe it any better than that. I thank you for the trust and the momentary place in your life in order to do readings for you. So thank you to those of you who are in that group. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more detail and information about myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. And you can also email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do readings full-time, so I work pretty diligently with you and your schedule to get you a reading as quickly as possible. I'm often asked about turnaround time, and currently turnaround time for a personal reading is anywhere from 1 to 4 or 5 days, depending on whether you want recorded or live, and the coordination of time zones if you live in a different time zone than I do. So, but anyway, it's almost always within a week. So if you're interested in that, send me an email and I would be delighted to work with you. And as always, I will preface this video by saying that it is a general video and it won't apply or resonate the same for everyone who watches. Check your rising and your moon sign as well. You should do that every time you look for readings anyway, as I always do myself, as it gives as whole and predictive, as clear a view as possible of the month or a couple of weeks it covers that are coming. There will always be some readings, some months and some readings where it resonates more predictively for you than others, and in terms of your rising and your moon sign. And there's also, particularly if you follow YouTube videos regularly, there will be some months and some readings where other readers may resonate for you more predictively than the ones you regularly follow. It's all about getting what you need at the end of the day to give you as clear a picture as possible. So shop around. There's a lot of great YouTube readers out there. And for those of you whom include me in that group, my gratitude and appreciation. Thank you. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Cancer for May 2016 mid-month. Cancer, May 2016 mid-month. And yes, I have been reading all of the feedback about the volume issues. I just recently upgraded to Windows 10 or 1000 or whatever it's up to now. And ever since then, I've had problems with my microphone volume. And I've been trying different things to rectify it on my settings. And I'm not sure if it's resolved yet. So please give me some feedback about that or some suggestions, because I've been trying to deal with it myself. And every setting I choose seems to have the same problem. And it happened with the upgrade. So maybe next time I won't upgrade. Anyway, on to Leo. Sorry, not Leo, Cancer. I just finished Leo. Cancer the Crab, my lovely water sign. Cancer, May 2016 mid-month. What does the remainder of May hold for Cancer? My lovely nurturing crabs. You are such lovely, loving, nurturing people. Not that the other signs aren't, but Cancer's particularly, I think, you guys make wonderful mothers. I always pull the Queen of Cups when I used to do readings for my mother. Cancer, May 2016, mid-month. Your cards are shuffling quite smoothly, Cancer. Let us see what the remainder of May 2016 holds for you. Okay. We begin with the Tower reversed, paired with the Queen of Cups. There you are. The Ten of Cups, followed by the Nine of Cups. The Two of Swords, followed by the King of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Swords in reverse. And as your crowning card, the energy from the bottom of the deck is the Star card. Wow, Cancer, this looks like an extraordinarily powerful reading. Let's just take a look. I'm just getting kind of the phrase as I'm looking over this reading, and I'm sure it will define itself as I go into it. Just that love is, love conquers all somehow. Love, patience is what's going to win the day or win through a particular situation. Okay, let's begin. So we find ourselves in the middle of May 2016, Cancer, with the Tower reversed. I like to see the Tower reversed much more than I like to see it in the upright position. Paired with the Queen of Cups, there you are, or someone very much like you. So the Tower reversed, let's see, we have one, it is the only made two, including your crowning card, two major arcana cards. Tower reversed, major arcana card, Fingers of the Divine. Now the Tower in the upright position would represent a sudden unexpected event, typically coming out of the blue. I know a lot of people often, the Tower card has negative connotations because often the major change and shift that comes in out of the blue that basically you don't really have any control over is often perceived as negative because it's typically removing something from our lives. Something, a situation, a relationship, a person, and we typically at the time view it as negative. But the key to utilizing the powers of the Tower and moving through it a lot smoother and easier in the upright position is to understand that the Tower comes in, basically it's the energies of the divine because it's a major arcana card. The Tower comes in when there is something in our life that is absolutely not part of our karmic path, our, you know, depending on what your belief system is about destiny. I believe that very few things are actually set in stone, which is why we live in a free will zone and have the opportunity always to make our choices. But sometimes there is something in our life, a relationship, a situation, something that was there for a time, there for a reason and a purpose, but once it serves its purpose, it's time for it to go. And if we are unable or unwilling to remove it ourselves, or we're given the opportunity to do it and we just don't, it's absolutely not meant to stay any longer. And so that's when the energies of the Tower, i.e. the energies of God, Spirit, the universe, your angels and guides, come in usually in a very quick and unexpected way to remove it because we can't or we haven't. And oftentimes at the time it happens, it's viewed as negative because it can be sometimes traumatic or cataclysmic, painful, but it's not meant to be there. It's meant to be removed. It's not, it doesn't belong there. So my words are tripping over each other. I have weird energy today. And it needs to be completely removed from the top all the way down to the bottom so that something truly beautiful and truly stable can be built in its place. You can see in the upright position, this man has had his Tower destroyed by this bolt of lightning out of the blue unexpectedly. He's falling out of he's falling out of this Tower, which was his home, a place that he thought was very stable, very solid, something he thought he could rely on that would always be there. and he's falling out of this destroyed tower completely naked, which implies a large degree of vulnerability as well. So his tower has been destroyed because it actually wasn't meant to be there, and it wasn't meant to be there any longer. There's a saying about the tower that the tower takes all. Whatever it is, it was meant to be removed because something more real, more solid, more substantial, something that's meant for this man to be there in a beneficial or positive way. This tower needed to be cleared out so that could be built in its place. But it usually happens unexpectedly. The presence of the tower in a reading, particularly in personal readings, represents a pretty significant life event, but usually very unexpected, coming out of the blue. Now, Cancer, you received it in the reverse position, and it's paired with that beautiful Queen of Cups too. In the reverse position, it can represent a healing time. The fact that the tower is there, I always feel like it was something that actually happened. I don't feel like in the reverse position it means that something was meant to happen and it didn't. This is major arcana energy. I feel like I actually feel like this whole reading is about moving through something that actually happened to you in the past that was represented by this Tower card in the upright position. And you're moving away from this energy. Now, for some of you, this is going to represent something that happened in the recent past that came out of the blue and was probably viewed in a negative way because it probably meant the removal of something, an event, a place, a situation, a relationship for some of you. And it was probably quite painful, challenging, maybe even traumatic and cataclysmic for those of you for whom that resonates. But the Tower in the reverse, I'm feeling now that it's a reversal of those energies. It's a healing of those energies as you move further and further away from whatever this event was. For some of you, this is going to represent an event that happened not in the recent past, but even further back than that. And for some reason, it's just taking you a lot longer to move through the healing process of whatever it was that you lost or that was taken away from you. And I feel like the energy that's prompting you or has played the most main role in helping you move through whatever this event was, Cancer, was actually love. That Tower in reverse is accompanied by the Queen of Cups. And for some of you, this is going to resonate as you yourself, being that beautiful water sign that you are. Cups is ruled by the element of water, and so it's a suit that's about our emotions and feelings, which are very watery, tend to be very mercurial, very fluid. Cups is also a suit that can represent love and relationships as well. Queens, like kings, queens are just the feminine counterpoint to kings, and they're equal, represent more mature, reflective energies or individuals. They're usually people who have reached the mastery of their suit. In this case, it's the mastery of the suit of cups, which is about emotions and feelings. This is somebody who, as an actual individual, whether this resonates as you or someone significant in your sphere, this would represent someone who is very in touch with their emotions, but well grounded in them. In the reverse position, it would represent somebody who was controlled by their emotions in kind of an unhealthy way. But in the upright position, the energies of the Queen of Cups, this is somebody very loving, very nurturing, somebody who always knows the right thing to say. She gives very good feedback. This would be like the Queen of Cups would represent like that spectacular kind of mother, just very much on the softer side, very loving, very nurturing, very caretaking, but in a healthy sort of way. She always knows the right things to say. And I just feel, again, it's just a very strong thread of energy throughout this reading. So this is going to play out a few different ways depending on who's watching, as it always does. This combination of cards with the Tower reversed and the Queen of Cups upright, I feel like the primary thing that's helped heal you and move you through and away from the initial energy of whatever this Tower card represented when it actually happened in the upright position. I feel like it was a very strong source of love that's actually helped you move through it, that's been a significant part of your healing process. And again, for some of you, this combination with the Queen of Cups, this can resonate as you. It could also represent your being the one that's been the source of love for somebody who's gone through the energies of this Tower experience, and your love is what's actually contributing in a very significant, profound way to their healing process. For others of you, you're going to be the one that went through the Tower, and this Queen of Cups can represent someone in your life. It could be, I mean, it could represent anybody. It could be somebody who's an actual water sign just like you, which would be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or somebody who strongly manifests the character traits of the water signs, particularly this Queen of Cups. It could be your mother, another perhaps older female who is kind of in that maternal role. It could be a best friend. It could be a male as well. This is a general reading, so in terms of gender specificity and general readings, it can really go either way. It can represent, you know, a partner, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, close friend, family member, sister, somebody like that. This is going to represent somebody who has been playing a significant role in your healing from something that happened to you. Again, some of you, it's going to be something in the recent past, and some of you, it's going to be something that goes back much further than that, and for whatever reason, it's just taken you longer to move through the healing process, but it's love that's gotten you through it. And again, for a small portion of you, I'm getting the energies where you, Cancer, have been the one to be the source of support in helping someone heal through something that was probably very painful, very challenging, very traumatic for them. But I feel like it's this healing process. There's something about May that has been significant. I don't know if there was a final letting go of something, or you felt like you finally got some final bit of closure on something, but it has been actually completely transformative. For some of you, again, this Queen of Cups is going to be just your energy, and you've been going through this healing process of whatever this Tower event was, but for some reason something happens in May where you get, it's almost like the pieces fit together, something clicks, you get some last bit of important closure, or there's some kind of healing. Perhaps there's a reconciliation of something that happens, a reconciliation perhaps of a broken relationship. It can play out that way too. It really depends on how these energies fit and if you can apply them to your situation. But it has a dramatically positive effect on your home. So for some of you, this is going to be, I think a lot of you actually, this is going to, because I'm getting a variety of different energies and I'm trying not to sound very scattered with all of it. I feel like whatever this Tower was initially, it had huge negative impact on your home, your family, your home life. Again, perhaps it was a divorce, perhaps it was a long-term established relationship that broke up. It could have been, I mean, it could be anything like the loss of a home through, I don't know, foreclosure or fire or something. I don't know. However it resonates, you'll have to let me know. But it was something that directly affected your home, because the healing of this, which I feel like you get some final bit of closure or something, or some kind of reconciliation energy happens, because the next set of cards is so beautiful. We have the Ten of Cups, the Happy Home card, followed by the Nine of Cups, the Wish card. I mean, what an amazing combination of cards together. The Ten of Cups, and both cups, emotions, feelings, love, relationships. The Ten of Cups, I call it the Happy Home card. I've heard it referred to as the Happily Ever After card. This is the point in the end of the fairy tale where it says, you know, they get married and live happily ever after. And tens represent, they represent the ends of things, the end of a cycle, the culmination of something, the coming full circle of something. The artist actually depicted this, created this picture as if it were what he or she was coming home to at the end of the day. This is everything finally coming together, the puzzle pieces fitting. You can see this beautiful, lovely cottage home in the background. Nothing, you know, huge and ostentatious. We're not talking like 15-bedroom mansion here, you know, gold flaked anything. It's just a beautiful, it's home, and it feels like home, and it has the energies of home. It's where you fit, it's where you belong, it's where family is. because there's a strong theme of family with this as well. You can see this beautiful rainbow of cups here, every one of them upright, full, glowing, these beautiful rainbow colors in the background. You just know that when you walk in the front door of this cottage, there's going to be, you know, a fire burning in the fireplace with a Labrador in front of it, your slippers by your favorite chair, and something delicious smelling bubbling on the stove. It just kind of has that sort of feeling. Where you come home at the end of a long day and it's, hi honey, how are you? And it's where you belong, it's where you fit, it's home. Even if those details aren't specific to your situation. You know what I mean, it's home. It's a sense of being rooted, of things finally fitting, of being home. Wholeness, integration, harmony, family. It's a beautiful card. It's the happily ever after card, the happy home card. And it's accompanied by the wish card, the yes card, the 9 of cups. And it's interesting because we have the 10 and the 9 here. The 9 signifying that you get what you want, your dream coming true, although not to wax too cheesy because life isn't perfect. But it's like something happened, the pieces came together, there was a reconciliation, or what was broken becomes whole again somehow. However this resonates for you, but it feels like it had something, it's something significant with your home life, your family, that whole home family system. Right underneath that 10 of cups, we have the 9 of cups, which is universally referred to as the wish card, the yes card, getting what you want. If you had a question for something, the answer is yes. You can, it's a card also that speaks of having more than enough, abundance, overflowing abundance, and sharing that out. Your cup's spilling over and you're sharing it with a bunch of other people in celebration. You can see that this man is holding up his own goblet. He's very happy, he's well fed, he has enough to eat, to drink, his surroundings are comfortable. Not only does he have enough for himself, but he has these 8 other cards all upright and filled, ready to be shared with friends and family. But the 9 is not quite the 10, and it sits right under the 10, and it's kind of like there was one more step to go. You got what you wanted, but there was one more last little push, and then you have this 10 of cups, and they're paired together. So whatever it was that clicked, that happened, you're going to have to let me know, because it's a really interesting combination of cards. And I'm just getting a variety of energies of what it could be. Reconciliation for some of you. A long-established relationship, I feel, that broke, or a marriage or something. There's a reconciliation, a coming back together. Long separation, someone being taken from you. Maybe somebody was imprisoned for a while, or really sick for a while. There's a coming home feeling, a homecoming sort of feeling this month. For some of you, it's going to represent getting an actual home. Perhaps you lost your home before and now you're getting another one, or you thought you were going to lose your home but you're not, and there's a celebration around it. There's a variety of different ways it can play out, and you'll have to let me know what those are. I'm not really getting much in terms of this being connected to career or job at all, but of course it could be if those energies apply to you. Send some feedback and let me know how, because I always like to know how these resonate for readers. It also helps deepen my own interpretation of the cards. So right next to that absolutely magnificent combination, we have the 2 of Swords, followed by the King of Swords. And I'm kind of getting, Cancer, that this combination of cards, again, I'm just getting this, what actually helped achieve this and what's helping achieve it, this underlying foundation. I'm just getting this strong sense of love, but a supportive, nurturing kind of love. That's this patient, almost relentless sense of love was what carried this thing through and allowed it to be accomplished, allowed it to come to this beautiful fruition of that 9 and 10 of cups. And it was all about, I think, not engaging in some kind of staying the course, staying calm, just remaining level and loving through this entire process. And again, you'll have to let me know how this plays out, because it almost feels emotional. I probably sound very scattered. I'm a little bit tired right now, and the energies of this reading are just really interesting. So we have this two of Swords and King of Swords, which is a very mental and cerebral sort of energy. Swords is governed by the element of air. So Swords is a suit that's all about things in our mental environment. This is about our words and ideas. The Suit of Swords is about our perspectives, our mindset, how we look at things, our belief systems. It's all about what goes on up here. And the Two of Swords can play out a couple of different ways. It can represent having to make a choice, having maybe two clear choices in front of you, and feeling kind of stuck and not knowing which path to take or what decision to make. The woman on this card is blindfolded too, and it can also represent that there's something in front of you that needs to be dealt with, but for some reason, at least up until now, you've been unable and unwilling to deal with it. The other way this card can play out as well is it's a sense of keeping the peace, of not rocking the boat, of staying steady, and that's actually the strongest energy that I'm getting off of this card, this Swords combination. That goes right along with that, all that supportive love that I'm kind of getting as an undercurrent to what's actually cradled this thing and helped pull it together. This successful culmination or reconciliation or this homecoming sort of energy. It was love and this steady sense of being the peacemaker, being the stable one, not engaging in warfare, not engaging in a battle or conflict, remaining stable, remaining calm, and even though there's a strong undercurrent of love, that you didn't allow your emotions to get the best of you. The Two of Swords can also represent the need to stay as impartial as possible, basically just not engaging in conflict. And I feel like that's been a very strong part of this, manifesting those energies off the Two of Swords, because I'm not really getting much in terms of this had to do with a choice that needed to be made or something that needed to be dealt with, although it could play out that way. Perhaps the final piece that came together for this homecoming energy was that you finally took this blindfold off, and or whoever was involved that needed to took the blindfold off and dealt with what was in front of them, and that's what was the kind of final piece that pulled this together. But really it was about trying to stay as impartial as possible, but in a stable, peaceful sort of way, refusing whatever this was, I'm just getting this feeling of somebody was a rock throughout all of this. They refused to go away, but they refused to fight. It's just like this solid, stable, loving foundation. And it was constant, whether that was you or somebody significant in your life, that Queen of Cups energy. Way to go for you, because it looks like it was very, very successful. That Two of Swords is paired with the King of Swords. This is someone who's reached the mastery of their suit. This individual has reached the mastery of the Suit of Swords. So the energy of the King of Swords would be, as a person, this would be somebody, kings and queens reflect older, more mature, reflective individuals. It doesn't necessarily have to mean in chronological age. But a grown-up, somebody who has reached the full culmination of all the character traits of their suit. And this is Swords, so we're talking about somebody who's very intelligent, very clear-thinking, fairly impartial. They're not prone to acting spontaneously or impulsively. The King of Swords has walked a pretty long road of experience. He's somebody who comes from a thoughtful place. He considers everything carefully and weighs everything out, the pros and cons and possible outcomes, before he makes a decision on something. And sometimes the King of Swords, sometimes Swords energy, like with air sign people, they can sometimes come across as emotionally detached. They're not necessarily. It's just, their presentation. They're thoughtful people, and they tend to come from a place, from a more mental, cerebral place first before emotions. They're very rarely people who will allow their emotions to make decisions for them. And both of these energies combined together, again, I feel like for some of you, it was these energies combined with this steady, solid love, peacekeeping, peacemaking. Again, somebody was a rock throughout all this, whether it was you for someone else or someone else for you, or you with someone else in this situation that I think was very traumatic on your home or your family life somehow. For others of you, this is going to resonate, that this energy, that this was your partner in this, going through whatever this situation was. And by partner, I mean it could be like a spouse partner, a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, but somebody very close, somebody very significant, as represented by the King of Swords. And it could be an air sign, which would be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, or somebody who strongly manifests these character traits. For some of you, this is going to be the two of you together were kind of the solid foundation and rock throughout this thing, and your love, your patience, your refusal to give up was really what brought it together. And this beautiful homecoming energy I'm kind of getting, everything coming together. Now, at or towards the end of the month, Cancer, we have the Six of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Swords in reverse. Again, it's like it started out with the healing of moving through the energy of the Tower in reverse, that healing energy. And also at the end of the month, it's more healing energy in this Three of Swords in reverse. We'll start with this Three of Swords. Again, the Suit of Swords, governed by air, thoughts, words, ideas, belief systems. In the upright position, it's often referred to as the heartbreak card, the heartache card, the breakup card in love and relationships. It represents deep emotional deep emotional pain. It can also represent, it can also be accompanied by a sense of betrayal. There are three swords piercing this heart, and sometimes in love and romance readings, it can represent, infidelity or unfaithfulness. But its fundamental definition is deep emotional pain, heartbreak, heartache. And you got it in the reverse position, just like that Tower in reverse. It's all this loving, healing energy for the remainder of May, but I feel like it's setting you up for a long time. This is energy that is going to be carrying through for a long time. Healing. Moving away from something painful, moving away from heartbreak, heartache. Again, I'm getting reconciliation energy. So however that resonates for you, Cancer. That Three of Swords, on top of it, we have the Six of Pentacles, which speaks of giving and receiving. It speaks of, in relationships, it can represent symbiotic relationships, a healthy give and take, giving and receiving, of becoming more open or needing to be more open. But because it lays over because it lays over this Three of Swords, and there's this Three of Swords in reverse, a healing of emotional pain, a healing of a rift, a healing of what was broken, a sense of what was broken coming back together again and being made whole. These cards sit on top of each other like that, and I feel like it was this openness, something that was closed was now open. The Six of Pentacles can represent needing to be more open, or being more open, the giving and receiving of a gift, generosity. But in love and in a relationship energies, if this applies to you, it represents that also was a significant factor in healing the situation and bringing and unifying what was previously broken. It's what enabled you to, this heart to begin healing again, was this sense of becoming more open to giving and receiving somehow. It is the Six of Pentacles. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth, so it's a suit typically about things in our earthly, tangible, material environment, things we can see and touch and feel. And the suit of Pentacles often represents things like money, finance, job, resources, property, assets, etc. But in spiritual areas or love and relationship areas, the same energies can be applied. It just represents tangible energies, tangible results of energies we've invested in something, or investing in something and seeing those tangible results. So again, in relationships, this would represent being more open, giving and receiving, and that is a direct effect on this healing process, on reversing whatever it was this damage was in the beginning that was so, I mean, it must have been a real, we have the Tower in reverse and the Three of Swords in reverse, and they were in the upright at some point, whether it's the recent past or the long ago past. You went through this, or someone very close to you went through this, or you went through this with someone together, and very painful, very traumatic, very cataclysmic, something that happened unexpectedly out of the blue. But you are moving through it and away from it. It's healing. It's healing. And what is healing? It's love, this tremendous sense of love, this tremendous sense of staying stable, staying calm, making the right decisions, opening up, being more open and giving, hearts opening and healing, helping somebody else become more open, helping somebody else open their heart. Gosh, it could just play out a lot of different ways, and I feel like it's been kind of scattered, but really the remainder of this month, and again, I feel carrying forward for a long time, it's bringing back together that which was broken, healing that which was wounded, deeply wounded, being steady, being stable, being practical, love. It looks very beautiful, Cancer. Kind of emotional, but in a healthy sort of way. And it's echoed overall by your crowning card, which is the beautiful Major Arcana card of the Star. One of my favorite cards in the tarot deck. The Star and the Fool are my favorite cards. And if there's one word I could, well, two. It's hope and faith, actually. It's what fundamentally is laying under the Star card. It's about hope and faith. It's having hope and faith that the wheel is on the upswing, having hope and faith that there is a beautiful, bright new path in front of you, having faith in the hope and the potential in that path. You can, and also in your source of divinity, that the universe has this one. You can see this woman is kneeling down or standing in water, and she's pouring her pitchers out into the water, completely emptying them out in perfect faith and perfect confidence that her pitchers will be refilled because the source is limitless. That's what this card is about, hope and faith in the beauty of what lies ahead. But there is a very strong theme of hope, restoration, and peace with this card as well, with the Star card. Very strong. So again, Cancer, whatever it was that this initial pain was about, because it feels like it was really kind of earthquakey. Something happens this month, and it looks like you have a lot of love and support, or that you've been a source of love and support too. And it's really all about healing and moving forward, and the home coming together again. Happy home feeling, a feeling of homecoming, finally being together again, being brought back together again. I'm almost getting, like, in my mind's eye, this image of something broken and the pieces coming back together again. So what a beautiful reading, Cancer. And please give me some feedback if this resonated for you, because I'm really curious as to how it's going to play out for different people. And if it didn't, check your rising and your moon sign as well. So Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. It's been a longer one than my generals usually are, and hopefully not too scattered. So thank you very much for watching. I hope it has resonated for you and given you some hope and faith, because there's a ton here to be had. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and you can also email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. And until I see you again in a couple of weeks for the June 2016 general readings, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks, Cancer, and I'll see you soon. Bye.